So I've got a very simple app here that I've started to make, and I've got the main screen which has this section for Big Ben, and I go back and it just says Big Ben and then the Tower of London, and that's all I've got in the app so far. So far, so boring. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the phone respond to where you actually are in the world, and we do this through a thing called events. So you've got this little events box up at the top, or you can just click over on events over here, and you can have events that are applied to the whole app, so it will do it whichever screen you're on, or you can have screen events, so it's only when you're looking at this screen. I'm going to create myself 2 events. So the first one is going to be a location event like this, and it's very, very simple, because all we're saying is when we are next to Big Ben, and there it is, Palace of Westminster, what are we going to do? Now it will give me a range as well, so this is how close I have to be to the Palace of Westminster. Now it's quite a distance around there, so I'm actually going to leave that as 100. Because it's quite a large attraction, and then I'm going to leave it as an app. Let's give it a location, title Big Ben. I'm going to leave it as an app wide thing, so whatever happens in the app, it will do this. So I can then click onto action, and I can set the action that I want to happen. So the input comes from the GPS and the output is whatever I want it to be. Now, of course, I can do things normally, sort of YouTube videos, this kind of thing. I can run a Blockly program, but in this case, I'm simply going to say jump to a screen, and then I'm going to select this screen here. I didn't rename the screen, which is why it's slightly difficult. Okay, and then I'm going to add another one, so a location event. This one will be the tower, and let's zoom in. We all know where the Tower of London is, don't we? Good. So zoom on in, and the Tower of London should be just up from here. There we are, the Tower of London. And if I just come onto that, I can drag my cursor across there, and we'll be down in the Tower of London itself. And again, I'm actually, because the Tower of London's really going to be quite big, increase the range here to 150. And my action for this is going to be to change to that other screen. As I said, if I put the screen names in, this would be a bit easier to tell which one was which. And save. So now I've got those in there. What I can do is I can have a look at this app through the preview here, and what we should be able to see if we zoom into London is we've got a couple of zones here that are defined, and if I click, this is where I am according to AppShed. And hopefully if I put myself at the Tower of London, we will see the app moves to the Tower of London. If I put myself at Big Ben, the app automatically moves to Big Ben. So you can do this kind of thing quite simply and easily. You can also do things with Blockly programs, so instead of just using the jump to screen, you could have a longer program that does something else and then jumps to screen. You can also do things based upon compass events, so you can say which direction you're pointing in. So maybe if you were pointing at Big Ben, if you were standing at Big Ben on the Big Ben screen, you could say, well, look, when you point in this direction, you can see this. So, I'm going to leave that one just for a second. And then the last one is, of course, when you shake the phone. And again, you can change what this does on different screens. I don't know what you're going to use the shake phone for, but hopefully you'll surprise me.